All right.
Nice.
Let's go on to our final topic.
Alrighty.
The last topic of the night. And this is going to be my topic. And this brings us to, we're going to do, because the last one was pretty successful, Week in News segment. A segment called A Week in News. And I have a list of hot items to talk about.
Were you saying weekend news or week in news?
Week in the news. Week in the news. Week in the nose. Let me find my. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with. Man, we're gonna just get probably more political as the time goes on, and that's just natural because of Rocco paying more attention, me trying to consistently like have ammo ready for my family that is like so on the opposite side of my views, so I don't look like an idiot and I can actually talk. So I try to pay attention as much as I can. Although I will admit right now, right here, anybody listening, I consider myself very ignorant when it comes to a lot of these topics, but I will give my best and honest opinions on things. But this happened. So we had the second. Did you guys watch? We had the second GOP debate on CNN. Did you guys watch that at all?
Yep.
Okay.
I did.
Steve did not watch it. Ian, did you watch it? Did you have any thoughts on it?
There's jeez.
I can tell you what I've heard about it.
Yeah. Basically, the biggest thing that I've noticed is that Trump is running around just, I guess, throwing out topics and everything, just trying to stay in the news and trying to stay relevant. I just don't really think he's going to be a good president. Yeah, I don't think it would be smart. Again, I said it in another podcast before. I think we do need a business-minded man in the office, but I don't think he's the one, quite honestly. And I know that Reagan was, an actor beforehand. Before
two different people.
Yeah,
honestly.
but they're completely, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But some people argue that sometimes. I'm like, okay, but that still, it doesn't matter,
I was going to say, too, has Trump been in politics a lot?
No, he even admitted he's only been a politician for 3 months.
So that's what I'm saying. So he'd be the less tainted of everyone.
Right, and I think that's what that person that Ian was just describing is trying to that's their point, right? Is like you don't need to be a politician to be successful in politics. Like you don't have to be a senator. You don't have to come from a traditional background in order to be successful as a president. And I absolutely agree with that person. The only problem is I don't think that Trump.
This guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe Trump 15, 20 years ago.
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
No, you don't think so?
Plus, I mean, he files for bankruptcy almost, every other year? It's like, okay, you can't really do that as a country.
Right.
Can you?
Yeah?
I don't. See, the thing that so Trump's leading in the polls, and he has been. This isn't just like a flash in the pan, like weak thing, right? This is a consistent thing now. And the way I just what?
Sorry,
He's leading in the polls. He's like far and away, right? And for a while now. And I think what's happening, like I was describing this to Sarah, and I think that the thing that Trump brings, it's almost like putting a fire to garbage, right? It's like this necessary evil that you need. And so what I think Trump is doing is he is a person that is unshackled from money, so he can say and do what he wants because he's his own platform. And I think what he's doing is he's exposing what we as a society really want. We don't want the traditional politician that's going to lie and dance around answers. We want someone who's calling out other people's bullshit.
Right.
And it's necessary. Like we need to jumble it up, right? But like, so I agree with his tactics and his strategy, but I don't agree with the type of person he is, right? Because like what he's doing is he's forcing politicians, like what I want from politicians is to be who you are. I want you to like take the facade out, and I want to vote for the person of who you are. I don't want fakeness, and that's what Trump's doing. That's what I like. He is who he is. He's not afraid to do that, and that's what I want every politician. The only problem is what I see now is I don't like what Trump is, and so I won't vote for him. And but I want that option. I want that option in every politician. He's the only one giving me that option, and I think that's why people are gravitating towards him. Is he's being honest. And we're sick of people not doing that.
Well, yeah,
becoming like a reality TV show, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of these things is like a reality thing.
I mean, like, keyword being reality, though. I want to see. I mean, I'm sure he's hamming it up a bit, but I really like Marco Rubio, but he's playing by the rules of politicians of old. Like he's just it's just an old era of like, when I become president and I've done this and blah blah, and like you see the other like no name candidates, I think they're called repugnants or whatever, and they're trying to just do that same rigmarole of like, I do this and I'm good at this, and when I get and Trump's like, no, we need to fucking do this. You're an idiot because you do this, and our dumb society is blah. Like he's calling people out, and it feels refreshing, and I think that's what people really want.
And I would agree with you there, definitely. But the other problem is that we have these career politicians that they sit there and go, hey, this is my job, and if I don't say these things, I won't get my next promotion, and they all have a goal in mind, and they're going to say whatever they have to say to make it there. And it's ridiculous because they're just going to say, oh, hey, I'm going to do this. But in the back of their head, they're like, okay, this is actually what I'm going to be doing, but I have to say this to get that position.
And I think people are wising up to that. They're like, yeah, you say this. Yeah, right. And how long does it fucking take, man?
Exactly. And, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, then the other point I have, and I really don't like going on political rants, and I'm not sure.
My bad.
I just, and the other thing is that I don't want to see another Bush and Clinton race. Like, I don't want to see us just to keep repeating the same kind of families in there. And then what are we going to do? Have royalty?
Yeah, we're not a dynasty.
It's aggravating. Yeah.
Sure.
It is nice though to have that fresh face and that person that does light fire under people's asses. But again, like I said, I agree with you, Clay. I don't agree with Trump as a person, and how he has been.
And so I have my people are like, oh my god, but what if he wins? And I have a lot of faith that he's not going to win.
Yeah.
I really just don't think he will. But I think this is people voting, like using the power of democracy for the first time in a while. Actually, that's not true because they did it with Obama too. But like using their democracy power of like showing the politicians that, dude, the shit you've been doing is we're not gonna fall for it anymore.
Yeah,
we're done with this. And if it means backing Trump, then so be it. Because like I think this is like the closest thing that we'll get to like a revolution, right? Like this is us showing that we're tired of the same old. Give us something new. Like this shit just needs to change, and we're tired of it.
We're just gonna put anybody in there.
Yeah, we'll make a deal with the devil if that's what it takes.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is us. And then, politicians are trying to call our bluff, but you know what? The Republicans don't have the time for that because I think I'm ready to see Trump be the Republican candidate and go against the Democrats, but the Republican Party, I don't think is ready. So the time is against them, and they need to make some moves quickly, or else they're going to find themselves not in the race at all. So I'm very interested to see as time goes on, as we get closer and closer to the presidential candidacy, like what they do, right?
Won't those speeches be hilarious though if he's president, Trump?
I can't fathom it. There's just no way. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next weekly update. Well, actually, it's gonna roll in. We saw this goes into what we're saying as how we don't like Trump, but recently Trump he was on tour. And I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to do my best. He was on tour, and he was taking questions. And I forget, I want to say he was in the Midwest, but I could be totally wrong. And a supporter, I suppose, a fan, had asked a question. He said, well, we have this guy Obama, and he's a Muslim. And we're not even sure if he's really from this country. And this is what he's saying. I'm paraphrasing. And it's a problem, and yada, yada. But the point of the story is that Trump did not even try to stop the guy, like correcting him essentially. And then they contrast this clip with a clip from McCain during his presidential campaign against Obama, when an old lady got the microphone handed to her for her question. Her question was, I'm worried about Obama because I can't trust him. He's like, right, I can't trust him either. And she said, because he's a Muslim. And yada, and he could be a terrorist. And McCain immediately grabs the microphone from her and goes, no. He's a great citizen. He's a great family man. I just happen to disagree with a lot of his stuff. And so he corrected his supporter immediately after like saying something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump ran with it, and like, so what are your thoughts? Like, so this just came out. A lot of people are talking about it.
Right.
Trump, this is the first thing I think he's done really that's starting to get a lot of heat from. I don't know how this affects him in polls, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about there. He didn't say anything. He just let the guy ramble on. He didn't really have a response to it. Now, granted, yeah, he should have, maybe, corrected him or maybe gave his view of the situation on that topic. But I think that people are trying to reach out for a lot of things too, just to kind of give him heat and give other people heat in these like debates. So they'll, just like you said with McCain, they could have made almost like a little clip of him saying, her saying, I don't like him because, I'm sorry, what did you say in that again, Clay?
She said he's a Muslim, but I'm pretty sure he's a Christian.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty positive he's Christian, which is like
right.
part of, like, and like him not being an American, like, the United States sent his birth certificate out to everyone. Like, he is American. The fact that people are even questioning it is absurd, and just so shows like how just scared we are of like the xenophobia in this country is just fucking ridiculous. So anyway, go ahead.
But I think that he should have said something, at least to kind of show his point of view of that topic, or at least made some kind of response to it.
Yeah.
And not just sit there and let the guy ramble on, and it does make him look bad.
Right.
It's ridiculous. But
yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that at all or hear about that, Steve?
No, I don't watch politics at all.
Okay, all right. So we'll move on.
I have nothing to add to this at all. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
Guys.
It's all good.
It's just particularly interesting because early in the year, Trump called out McCain as a coward, and because he got captured, and he doesn't want, and captured soldiers are, I guess, equivalent to losers. He wants winners. He wants people who aren't captured. But
that's ridiculous.
Exactly. I think another just one of many examples of Trump crossing the line and saying something that I don't agree with.
Exactly.
He's calling things out and he's shaking things up, which is what I like, but I don't like how he's approaching it. So, anyway, we're gonna move on.
What's the next topic?
Let's see. We're gonna get into a little bit. We're gonna work our way to video games and comics really quick. Half Brick. Are you guys familiar with the developer? I don't expect you to, but if you did, I would give you points. Half Brick, they created things, mobile games like Fruit Ninja, and there we go. Yeah. And they created Jetpack Joyride.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I played that.
Love both those games.
Fucking great games, right?
Yeah.
They've just recently let go all of their designers as a new strategic way of developing games, in hopes, again, I'm paraphrasing, to elicit more design work from the other disciplines, such as coders and artists. So they're expecting the designs to come almost like, designed by committee. So they are hoping that this forces other disciplines to up their design game to help design these games, because they just let go of them all.
So basically fear.
I don't think fear. I think they're just, maybe, but I think they're just,
they're
expecting
firing off
everybody
a bunch of people to try and step up the other people's game, right?
Yeah, I think it's from a strategic standpoint. They're saying these designers are not worth the money we're paying them, because they're essentially saying anybody can design. They're saying an artist can be a designer, and so can a coder, and yada yada.
So that means Clay's going to be applying for a job there. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I guess I'm curious what you guys think from an outside standpoint. And it's fair to say you guys are like, nah, I don't know what that means, but.
Well, I get what you're saying, like the whole topic, and they're basically saying that these people are doing a job that anyone can create, and they have things in their mind that they can kind of. It's an art, I guess. You have a creation in your head, Clay and Steve, that, hey, if you're doing a first-person shooter, you can sit there and make this map in your head. Like, if there was like this tower up here, you could do sniping and this and that. Anyone can kind of do that. Like me right there. Okay, mountain theme, tower in the top of the mountain so you can do sniping. But then down here, there's some brush where you can hide, and, you can create that, I think it might be a smart idea for them, but I probably wouldn't have gotten rid of the whole team. At least keep like one or two around just to kind of like guide that focus, maybe help out all the other positions of, hey, that's a great idea, but what if we kind of did this? It's always good to have other people's point of view.
Now, were they doing it for like money reasons, or they just decided it wasn't like
I think money
feasible anymore?
I think money and tactics. Like they're like, look, we need to shave some money, and I think they're thinking they can make these games without having a designer on the payroll. They can have somebody else take their tasks over, which include rallying the team, solving issues, playing the game consistently, and then tweaking, like painstakingly tweaking numbers in spreadsheets to get the game to feel the way you want it to feel. Like the time it takes to swipe, the reaction time it takes to swipe, how many oranges are flying up on screen, the order of which the fruit roll up, the randomness, the formula that comes in, how, like the levels, the progression of challenge and difficulty. Do we start with pineapples and with grenades, or one grenade, two grenade? How many grenades for this level? The next level? When do we step up that challenge? Is this too challenging? Is it too easy? Get that data and apply it and change it, tweak it again. Like, what upgrades are they going to have? What kind of new swords can they unlock? What's the monetization strategy? All of the stuff that are going to expect someone who's coding this and someone who's arting these things to do. Okay. And I think it's ballsy, and I think they're underappreciating the value of what a designer brings. And I think it's going to bog them down the other disciplines with a lot more work that they're not necessarily qualified for, and probably necessarily ready to do or want to do, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I was trying to think of an analogy, and like the worst one is like, I'm thinking like, well, it's like if they got rid of a director. Like they're like, listen, we're going to take Steven Spielberg off. We have other people who like are on the set. They can just direct and film. Because anybody can press a record button.
It's true. That is actually true. That's a good analogy. I mean, yeah, because like you can't put like, right, Steven Spielberg. You're like, well, you got other people that can direct. You know what I mean?
They just need to press. They just need to say action and make sure people are in there like and then press the record button.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
That's all I have to do. It's like,
well, I mean, have they come out with any new games yet? I mean, like we can always base off that.
That's a really good point.
That's the thing too. So like, they haven't come out with any new games. I haven't played Fruit Ninja or Jetpack Joyride in a long time, so I don't know if they came out with any new updates lately or anything like that to play with it. But yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can just have anybody do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There is a lot more, like you were saying there, Clay, to it than just building, hey, just here's the map, or, this and that, because it all does have to flow together.
Yeah.
Did the president of the company like die, and then his son like took over and was like, "Hey, fuck these guys. They do it." That's what I'm saying. Like, that sounds like some kind of movie fucking thing. You know what I mean?
I do think the original like owners or whatever, I think they moved on, and I think they got new CEOs. And I think
that's probably what happened. They have no idea what the hell.
Revamp.
Yeah, exactly. Just revamp. Oh, we got these guys to do this, to just kick them out. Well, I probably is going to set them back a lot then.
Yeah,
honestly,
I kind of hope so, but it's like Steve. They're like, listen, we're gonna get rid of your position, and we're gonna make an automated thing for people to get their pills. It's like, well, what about all the guys who have questions? What about like all of, like the organization and structure of it? What about like talking to people and like giving them advice, or like what about like finding out all the issues when their name doesn't match up or they went to the wrong place, or like what about like there's so many things that you do that people can take granted for. They're like, we'll just have this other person do it or something.
Yeah,
the bagger at QFC is so close to the pharmacy. We'll just have them do the same thing.
They'll just fill the bottles.
They'll fill the bottles.
Cool.
We don't need
with all the changes that are going on with CVS right now. Good luck. Good luck.
Like, there's a lot of stuff there, right? Okay, we're gonna move on. This is so Destiny recently announced that Taken King had came out, and it's getting rave reviews. What are your thoughts on Destiny's new?
Absolutely, I'm too soon to think. But like you're saying, like I've been actually reading a lot of things on Game Informer, as far as like the new levels that are coming out, the better storyline, dynamic, and everything inside of it. The one thing I don't agree with that they're starting to do is they're starting to make every weapon, across the board the same. As far as damage goes and everything like that. So I was kind of like leaning towards. I remember like when the assault rifle was actually really good, and it was one of the #1 guns to have and everything, because you just destroy with it. And then they nerfed it. They for people that don't know what that means, they basically dumbed it down, and they made it less stronger than it is. I think that having that point kind of takes away from the game, because like why would you, I mean, that takes away from like a sniper, that takes away from like you getting like I'm talking about as far as the damage aspect. You know what I mean? Like, why would anybody go with like, a stronger weapon? Like, as far as like the sniper.
It takes some meaningful choice away from the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, so my question there is when they do the whole damage thing, is it not every gun is going to do 100 damage? It's like, okay, because an assault rifle shoots quicker than a but it's the speed too. So a sniper could do 1,000 damage, but while an assault rifle only does 100 per hit, but you get 10 out in the time that it takes to shoot one sniper. Is that what it's doing?
No, they're all the same. They're all the same.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, so that's just stupid then.
Yeah, that's one of the things they're doing. Hopefully they'll change that soon. Another thing is that progression is entirely as far as from 1 to 40 is now based entirely on what you do with your actions, not as far as like what does it say, like
quests and stuff.
Quests, yeah. It's all depending on quests and not how many mobs you kill.
So are they just trying to make it easier to level up to the new stuff? They're trying to get people forward.
I think they're starting to go for that a little bit, and also to get people to join groups a lot easier, and like play, like almost like you're saying, that force that gameplay, with other people, which is pretty cool. My number one thing is the storyline. I love that they're actually bringing a storyline to it.
Peter Dinklage too.
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's the dwarf on Game of Thrones. He voiced the robot in the beginning of the Destiny game.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's Tyrion from Game of Thrones, and he's booked. He's really busy, and they can't get him consistently in the booth to do new voice. So they replaced him with I believe Nolan North.
I don't know
the guy who does Drake from Uncharted.
Oh.
Yeah. Still, nope.
Still, nothing.
Uncharted?
No, I never played Uncharted.
No, I never played it. I know what it is, but voice.
He voiced Last of Us. He voiced the guy from Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
But still,
no, I never played it.
Come on, sons of bees. All right. Anyway,
trolling.
Next up, we got a Booster Gold / Blue Beetle movie might be in the works in WB. What do you guys think?
What?
I don't know what that is.
All right, moving on. It's basically WB is trying to get these two characters that are generally like C-list heroes, and they tend to be pretty funny. Booster Gold's from the future. He's trying to be a superhero, but he's not really working out that well. And Blue Beetle's like this gadgeteer guy, but he's also not really. He's kind of like an ant. No, they're just like superhero guys that are just they're kind of C-listers. They're not really that good, and they're funny because they just screw up, and like they're just not the best. And so what's just great about them is I could see this being the lone comic relief in what is a very overly saturated dark toned movie universe, right? So you have this Batman, this Superman, blah blah, and then all of a sudden you get someone like Zac Efron and James Franco playing these two characters. You throw them in the mix, and now all of a sudden, Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are these brooding characters that have to deal with these really funny fucking heroes that screw up all the time. Like I think that would be great.
Then I would love. What is the show called again? You said
Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Is this gonna be a movie? Coming out? Or
they said that it could possibly be in the works, and I am going out on a limb that they should cast Zac Efron and James Franco, because I think that would be just absolutely hilarious. If you guys saw Neighbors, Zac Efron was in there with James Franco's little brother. I just think that pairing of friends, fucking A, would be so funny.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like as superheroes, like that's so good.
I think that would be great. Like just seeing like people fuck up like the superhero aspect and just fuck up and everything, and just like oh man, that'd be a great storyline. Actually, I'm starting to think about all the possibilities that you can do with that.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the movie Super. I think we talked about that briefly once, Clay. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
with Rainn Wilson. I thought that was hilarious. So if it goes kind of like on that path, I think it'd be a great movie or show. Whichever
it's slated to be a movie. In my idea, because these guys are a team up and they're superheroes, it's a buddy cop movie first and foremost with a superhero rapper. So think 21 Jump Street, superhero style.
Nice.
It's like Batman and Superman,
cool.
right? It's like
that
guys,
cool.
Right? We have this mob guy. They're like I could see it opening up, and they just like they're trying to like just be on the same level as Superman and Batman in a fight, and they're fucking up, and Superman and Batman are coming in, yeah, and then they come back to the Justice League house and like, all right guys, that was fucking terrible, and you nearly died, and they're just like, yeah, sorry man, but you could have came in and you got freeze breath, dude. I thought you were gonna take care of that. And he's like, Superman's like, what? Okay, look. We got some mob activity that could have a bigger idea. We're going to deport you down to, like, Florida and just investigate this stuff. Get in with the criminals and see if you can do it. And they're like, all right, well, I guess, sure. Yeah, whatever, we'll do it. And then they proceed to have this, like, funny buddy cop superhero movie. Like, I think it would be brilliant. And it'd be really funny.
Hilarious, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be good. Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out.
WB needs to do this. Okay.
Yes.
Next up, we got Mary Jane Watson is now going to team up with Iron Man. So she's going to actually be in the Iron Man comics and chill with Tony Stark. For those who don't know, Mary Jane Watson... Mary Jane Watson is Spider-Man's main squeeze for like the last 2 decades, 3 decades.
Yeah.
It's not going to be played by Kirsten Dunst, is it?
Well, it's not a movie. It's in the comics.
Wow, she's 4 then.
Dude! No!
No!
No. But she is, like, it is interesting that she's going from predominantly a Spider-Man role and like in the shadow and like going over to the Iron Man universe. It would be interesting to see her character because she's been stagnant for a while. They've recently retconned the marriage of Spider-Man and Peter Parker and Mary Jane, and now she's going to go and do her own thing. It would be interesting to see her interactions with Iron Man because Peter tends to be like a wisecracking funny guy, but Mary Jane is like kind of that like serious tone, I guess, to him. And now you have this guy who's very cocky, and Mary Jane's not gonna have any of it. Like they showed a little panel of it, and he's like, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jack, and she's like, I've already heard it, already done it. Like she's not gonna like let him like do any of his like classic cocky stuff. So I think it would be an interesting relationship to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
All right. Finally, we have a theory of Darth Vader's role in the new Star Wars movie that I was going to share with you that I was reading on Polygon.
Okay.
And it was talking about the idea that the Darth Vader masks shown in the trailers, and this theory has been around for a little bit now, in that Kylo Ren,
oh my God, dude, sorry guys.
The Kylo Ren character is actually like looking for the relics of Darth Vader to potentially either clone him or like take his Force powers, right? Like he's looking for his mask, he's looking for the lightsaber potentially, because like his toy, when you like press the button, he's like, the weapon is mine. And we know that like the weapon of Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, the blue one, is now being passed from Finn to the other character, or like from Princess Leia to the other characters, the new characters showing up to kids. So it could be the story of like Kylo Ren searching for these very important pieces, because in the universe they will either allow him to clone Darth Vader or empower him with Darth Vader's Force abilities and strengths. So what do you think of that as being like a plot? Kind of.
Man, I'm gonna go to Steven on that. I gotta dwell on that for a minute.
Yeah. Is that cool? You guys down? Are you on board? Maybe you're just like, yeah, it sounds good.
It might be a little difficult, I think. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but is it gonna be good in the movie?
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, coming from your perspective, like as a Star Wars nerd, what do you think, Clay?
Well, I'm gonna flip it again. This is a 3 flip. I'm gonna flip it back to you guys. If in the third trilogy movie of this, 3 movie whatever, if the third movie of the trilogy, Darth Vader's cloned successfully and he's back.
Good.
Is that cool? Does that ruin his sacrifice at the end of the original trilogy? Like,
well, sir.
Hell no.
You don't think that ruins it?
No, wait, yeah, it absolutely ruins it, because I'm going to go back to where our Lord of the Rings Star Wars debate, when you said that Gandalf died and he came back and it discredited the entire freaking movie. Right. I'm going to say, yeah, absolutely it discredits it.
Yeah, I think it does too.
You can't have a Star Wars movie without Darth Vader, though.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
This entire series is going to be without Darth Vader.
Yeah. I guess you can't. Technically, we can, but theoretically they haven't. Like, all movies have had Darth Vader in them.
That's true.
Right? Got it.
So that's really interesting, and you bring a good point, which I guess my mind goes to it being more than... But that's the old regime. Like, Lucas doesn't have any power anymore. This is Disney. Disney's retconning everything. So Yeah, Darth Vader might be a piece, but it doesn't necessarily like I'm not hedging my bet that it will be a Darth Vader centric story. Like,
So,
or rather that he is in there. It would probably be centered around him, but it won't necessarily have that character in there.
what if they make it to where it's not actually Darth Vader? They just keep replacing him with someone else, a more evil person, but they always have to wear the hood and everything.
Well, that's Kylo Ren's character. Like he's.
So what,
he's
they're trying to pull like a
mimicking his-
Joker thing, like we were just talking about Jared Leto and everything. Is like
Maybe.
acting like the Joker, but he's not the Joker.
Danny
Yeah,
DeVito.
it's
Maybe
Danny
you know.
DeVito
Okay,
in.
so that's a good point. Maybe the goal here is they lost the face of the Empire,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the morals. But if that face were to come back and not truly be dead, it would rally the troops a little bit more, right? Like, wouldn't
Right.
it like make a big impact? So I can see it. I can see it going that way. They're trying to like bring him back so that they can, prosper again. But
I don't know. I think they should go a different way and make someone more menacing than
I agree.
Darth Vader.
I agree. I don't like it being
Like
so
a
centered
different
around him.
character. Yeah, like
Yeah, let's move on. And I really want to see Kylo Ren be that character. Like, I don't want him to die in the first one like Darth Maul. I want him to like build up. This
right. I liked
animosity and
Darth
this-
Maul, and he was gone. Like I think
Yeah.
that would have been really
Yeah.
good to play off of right there.
It was a big mistake on their part.
Yeah, it's a big mistake.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, that's been our segment of This Week in News. And this is also the final topic for the Everything and Nothing show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode on Saturday. Remember, each topic gets doled out Monday through Friday, and that full episode on Saturday you can get at youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel. You can also support us for free, which we really appreciate, on our Facebook page and on our Twitter account at Maelstrom Gamers. Follow us, like us, subscribe, comment. It really helps us. If you want to throw us a couple dollars, that would be really helpful as well. You can go to patreon.com/MaelstromGamers, and just for $1, you'll get a special one of these episodes just for you that's not on YouTube. And for a couple dollars more, you can get the MP3 early, you can get the videos early, you can get a couple other neat rewards. All that money goes back into this show to up our mics, get better video quality. We're just going to bring it right back into the show, which is really helpful. We're also live streaming on twitch.tv/TheMaelstromGamers and on YouTube. We're not the best, but we're certainly not the worst. We are entertaining. We'll be streaming a bunch of different games, so check us out. We also have an Instagram account, so if you guys like photos, we like photos. We should hang out. We should be friends. We'll show you our photos if you show us yours. And
Whoa!
there we go. I got you guys to pay attention.
We're paying attention. We're
Yeah,
just
no,
trying
I
to get
know.
you off your game.
I'll show
Yeah,
you mine
which-
if you show me yours.
Yeah, so I won the game of chicken there. So yeah, that's it. It's been this has been another episode. It's been an honor to entertain you. Until next week, keep thinking about everything and nothing. Peace and take care.
And go fuck yourself, San Diego.